Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bad EM podcast. My name is Daniel Still, and I'm your host. Bad EM stands for Brave African Discussions in Emergency Medicine, and this is a platform we use to try and find African solutions for African problems. This month, I'm delighted to have Athenkosi Sobada as a guest. He is a critical care emergency care practitioner by trade, and he is an up-and-coming figure in pre-hospital research and system change. We speak about the broad range of work he is involved in, specifically addressing his research into spatial justice and health equity with regards to the red zone policy and his solutions into that inequity with the Green Corridors project. We chat about how we can improve outcomes in pediatric transfers using education, simulation and reflection, which is the topic for his master's that he is working on, and ultimately how we can connect different facets of the healthcare system and allow community voices to be heard at policy-making level. Welcome to the show, Ati. Would you mind starting us off by introducing yourself and giving us a background of your professional career so far?
All right, thank you, Dan, and thank you for having me today. My name is Athenkosi Sobada, but well known as Ati within the healthcare environment. My professional career within EMS, I started as a diploma. That was not long ago. Just when it hit COVID, I started in 2020 in Feb within the Western Cape Department of Health and Wellness. And then I was working like normal operations ambulance, like the majority of our workforce.
Yeah.
And then from then I went to pursue the degree. So I did the Bachelor of Emergency Medical Care at CPUT. Currently now, completing my master's in emergency medical care, which is also doing at CPUT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. You have been quite prolific at an early stage in your career in terms of research and getting involved with systems of emergency care. So let's go straight into your research, specifically the Green Corridors and Red Zones, which is a very topical space at the moment. Just to give some context to people who maybe are not familiar, what is the red zone policy and why is it there?
So the red zone policy was implemented in 2016. So this was after there was many attacks on the EMS personnel when they want to go serve in certain communities. And then the EMS management then implemented red zones just to protect the staff.
Yeah.
So within the policy itself is that when you are being dispatched to these areas, you need to go to a certain channel, which is called channel 13, and then you inform the dispatcher that you're being dispatched to this area. They need to organize a police escort for you.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to go within those areas without the police escort. Yeah, but with that, there's been a lot of unintentional consequences whereby there is no police resources. Now we find our ambulances waiting for like 1.5 hours, 2 hours, waiting for police escort. While the person is still waiting, which is by the time you get there, person is already deteriorating, or person is dead, or person was dead initially, but the information was not relayed like that. But the policy was was created to protect the EMS staff from being attacked in these certain areas. Yeah, and as I've mentioned that, like within unintentional consequences, you will find that now there's been a broken trust.
Yes.
Between EMS and the community. EMS doesn't trust the communities anymore. And the communities don't trust EMS. So by the time you get there, they might not attack you, as some of the incidents has been shown that, okay, they were being robbed. And some of the attacks is because people were impatient. They became late. And now they start like showing their anger, and then you find them attacking EMS personnel at the spot. So
so it's obviously quite a contentious thing with trying to provide a service but still maintaining safety of your staff. In terms of the root cause of the policy, regardless of the delay, does a police escort help? Were there reduced attacks with police presence? Because some of these communities also don't have a very good relationship with the police themselves.
I was gonna say that now, yes. So there were instances whereby certain communities say that if you come with SAPs, that's one of the triggers for them, that they will attack. They're not attacking us, sometimes they're attacking the police. But since we're with them, then it becomes that consequence as well. But what I would say is that while we're talking, it's been a very sad moment in EMS whereby we lost one colleague last week, where he was attacked by some criminals in close to Epping side, Elsis River, somewhere that side, where he was mission grabbed, and then while chasing them, and then he was found dead in the street. But our colleagues were quick to respond to that incident. And then just yesterday, one of our colleagues was hijacked in Kailicha, and they left her in an informal settlement in Kadu informal settlement. So that shuttered the whole stuff. We always advocate, we are there for the community, want to serve them, and it becomes difficult when these things happen. Like yesterday after the incident, the guys from the base, they all stopped operating because they were in shock. So which means there were less calls serviced by EMS after that incident yesterday, because we're all in shock of what happened. And the community didn't stand up for EMS in these two instances.
So when it comes to community support, that brings me nicely to your Green Corridor project. Tell me a bit more about that.
So this is a service improvement research that I'm conducting because I resonate with the red zone policy in both ways, in a sense of that, EMS, I want to serve the communities, and there's these difficult circumstances. And second is that I think I've experienced them firsthand as well, because I grew up in Nyanga, and I've seen how the policy have put a blanket approach to everyone who stays within these areas. So it doesn't matter if you're not involved in the attack or anything, but the ambulance will go via SAPS. Certain areas get it more at disadvantage from it because they are regarded as permanent red zones, and then some are temporal. Like Nyanga has always been a red zone only at night. During the day it's not, but you'll find out because of the fear from the staff, and then even during the day, they don't want to go to these communities. And I've witnessed delays where like someone will die just from bleeding, because there was the police, the ambulance is waiting at the police station, which brings me to make sure that I'm trying to build a relationship between the communities and EMS through this action research. So the Green Corridor project is a action research based in policy and system change. We want to restore the trust and the relationship between EMS and the community. We are look at creating community networks or work with the existing community networks that are already there. So the project right now is only focusing in two communities, which is Bonteville and Kukuletu, whereby there is a major community places where people would like to go and engage with each other. So in
which are traditionally safe spaces.
So they are within the communities itself. So the one is called Labon Kitchen, which is in Bonteville. Next to Labon Kitchen, it's the satellite for Bonteville, where EMS wants to use, and for matter of fact, sadly, is that Bonteville is not a red zone. All right, but there is a satellite there for EMS to use. To get escorted to the area.
Yeah.
There's been no major incidents there other than the past two that have occurred within this year as well, where our EMS person was robbed.
Yeah.
But the community quickly stood up and got stuff back.
Okay.
And then also those criminals who committed that crime were also arrested
Okay.
from the power of the community.
Okay.
All right. And then after that, that's when we also went back in Bonteheuwel to try to do some activities there as well. So, and then the one in Guguletu is also like a community kitchen. So we're using them as wellness hubs.
Yeah.
Whereby we can, EMS, we can go share our concerns. The community can also go there, share their concerns regarding EMS.
Yeah.
And then we can know how we can cater our service for that specific community.
Yeah.
So that's one component of the green corridors.
Yeah. The engagements,
try to build a relationship with community and EMS. And then a second part of it is trying to do policy change. When it comes to red zones, I feel like it's an injustice to blanket approach all the communities. That since you are staying in certain area, your whole area is regarded as a red zone. So with the policy change, what we're looking at is we did a survey with some EMS personnel to get their perception of red zones. So that was a kind of a mixed method, kind of a study. Then we have quantitative that we've already analyzed. Then we're currently now finishing the qualitative part of it. And then from that, then we'll go each and every district within the metropole in the Western Cape and speak with the staff on the ground. Like, this is what you guys said you want to operate within EMS in the Western Cape. And then some of them will share like which ones can be easily implementable, which ones we think it could be tough to implement. And then from us, and then from us as the staff on the front line, with management, then we'll sit and then we will suggest the way forward. So we're using like a bottom-up policy change with this kind of approach. So those were part of the Green Corridor project. And then the other part is the spatial justice, which is try to create some liveliness. That is a word for communities that were previously disadvantaged. There is no spaces of safety. Whereby now we're trying to create like spaces where the communities will support each other. And we got the Green Corridor was funded with the seed fund. So there's people who are going to be painting the area in Guguletu as well, putting faces of heroes in that area as well. People who've been engaging, helping them so that we can instill that community, it's not activism, but community pride to try to protect their resources, which is one of them is EMS. Because I told them last week, even now, that EMS is we just driving the ambulance, but it is their service. It's just controlling how it works, but it is their service. It is their resource.
Belongs to them.
Yes, belongs to them. So they need to make sure that they protect it by all means.
And for a lot of these communities, EMS is the only way to access healthcare in a emergency situation. A lot of them obviously feel unsafe themselves at night, especially in their communities, and don't have access to other means of transport to get to hospital. So if EMS is not protected, then there are no other options.
100%. So if you look at the all the areas designated as red zones, it's the areas with a very poor socioeconomic status within the Western Cape. So which means they don't have money to even like to take a taxi from my house to KTC or Guguletu to what is known as Guguletu to CHC. It's only 12 rand.
All right. And they can't pay that.
They can't pay that. So and they rely on neighbors with cars to go knock and ask them, please take us to hospital. If there is someone with a car. So which means that EMS is who they can rely on in terms of need when they need to access healthcare. And then it becomes difficult when that resource that they rely on
it's compromised.
Is compromised. They cannot get to them in their time of need. It's delayed because of all the social injustices and inequality of care.
These safe zones, would they be purely for engagement and the upliftment of the community itself, or would they be regarded as, for example, places that EMS can theoretically safely access within a community? So, for example, if someone was really sick and they can't get to hospital, but they can get 200 meters to a safe zone, would that be something that you're planning, or would it just be more in line with the relationship building?
It's more like a pilot or experimenting with the green corridors, is that we don't want to open just one just route to get access to. We want to make sure that the whole community is easily accessible. So what we are working on between Gugulethu and Bonteheuwel is that those community networks they have, it's actually helpful. In the Friday, the Western Cape Department Executive Leadership of Health was in Gugulethu in the informal settlement of Barcelona and Europe in Gugs. And there was no SAPS escort navigating the informal settlements. We're using CPF, we're using neighborhood watchers, community members were working with us. They were our safety.
They were there, your safety.
Yes. So it was nice to see. But which means it's networks that we've created already. We could do that there because we've created the relationship with those areas. We know who can tap into that. Same thing with Bonteheuwel. Because now they've been with this project. All right. So now what we're looking at is trying to see how we can implement this in the next threat, in the next township, in the next community, and see how we can expand where community stands up for EMS. What other things that we do is we can, when someone calls for an ambulance, we can call back and say, it's not safe where you are for our staff to come. If you can come to this area, we know they will protect us when you go there. We already have a relationship, so we'll get you there. And then they can find means to get there. So we kind of do a lot of like experiential approaches to try to navigate the issue and to find like a possible solution on how we can provide equitable care or access to the people that don't have the means to do so.
To get there, And is there any involvement from SAPS in this project or in similar projects of relationship building with the communities?
Not 100%. Since with the Bonteheuwel one now, they've asked us to join their CPF and police engagements. I think there's one within the next month. But before that, there was nothing between EMS and SAPS. But what I'll say is that there is something called TMC. So TMC is where the dispatcher for Channel 13 sits. So there, they sit with the law enforcement, the police within that space. So when there's a delay of a police escort, that person who sits there can actually go to the station commander who's sitting, please organize there. But other than that, there's no further engagement that I know of on my side that are happening between these two government entities.
And then on a broader level, so obviously this is stemming from health inequity and spatial injustice. So on a bigger scale, how would you define those two concepts? And you are obviously addressing them with projects like the Green Corridor project. How would you define them to start with?
So spatial injustice, I would say, is whereby where you are born and where you are situated determines which resources you will get.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the Western Cape, where the red zones are, they are situated to where people were pushed using the I think it was a Group Act.
Group Areas Act.
Group Areas Act. So and then it's staked. So that's where they are. And where they are situated is there's less resources actually coming to those areas, which means now where they are born actually determines how they actually improve in life.
Yeah, or do not improve in life.
Do not improve in life.
Yeah.
And also what kind of care or level of care do they actually get when it comes to healthcare. All right. So so with health equity, it's not really stating that we all need to get equal care, but is the care that you actually need. So the care that is needed by someone in Guguletu is not the same the care someone needs in Pinelands, where I am right now. So now as a service, we need to make sure that we're providing equitable care by understanding the people's context and catering for them, for their need. I'm not sure if that provides you a good answer.
Basically the opportunity to access the healthcare that you need shouldn't be affected by where you are born.
Yes.
There are inequalities, but there should be an equal opportunity to improve and to access what you need.
Yes.
And if you cannot access that to start with, then that's an inequity. In terms of your big picture, so your goal for policy change, obviously you can use this research and these projects to generate positive change, and then try and scale that up to other districts and regions in the province and the country. If you could advise on policy at the moment, what would you advise?
I think, I'm not saying everyone must adopt our model, but our current model, how we saw it fit was that if we're using the bottom-up policy change, which is now the people who relive or live the experiences of red zones, they're the ones who actually come up with the situation of how to navigate these areas moving forward. So some of the suggestions that came around was creating more of these community networks. So just to share my story,
please.
Is that like when I grew up in Nyanga, which is Old Cross Road, is that there were street committees. The street committees, it's people who are well respected within the community, and then moving up, there were like Sanko, and then there's the ward councillor as the head of that community. And you will see regularly those people were actually having meetings, engaging, trying to make sure services do get to those areas. From this current life now, it seems like those things don't really exist anymore.
Okay, so they've broken down over the years since you were young.
Yes.
In your perspective.
Yes. So on my perspective, those structures, they're not there anymore. Or if they're there, they don't function that way anymore. And I feel like as EMS, we can tap into those structures to make sure that those people who are seen as a community as their leaders, all right, they can find ways to protect us as EMS. I always say that as EMS, this red zone problem it's difficult for us to say we will be able to manage it. And we've seen within the 10 years, the policy is 10 years now. We've seen that SAPS is also struggling to help us because it's not right to wait 2 hours in SAPS to actually get an area. So is now we're trying to do this action research and engaging with the communities to tell them, please protect us. You are the people who are seen as these communities as their leaders. Don't let us down, because like one of the instances that last year, I'm not sure if you've seen, where one of our colleagues was attacked in Fulani.
Yeah.
So when you did the wellness walk in Mfuleni, all the leaders were there. SEPS was there, CPF was there, fire department was there, and we all were united to try to nip this thing down. And from that, there's never been any attack. All right. And the people took a stance and say they would make sure that they would protect us because they know the people that attack us.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Some of them, they said it's their brothers, some of them it's their children. So they need to find a way on how they engage them or even take them to the police.
Yeah.
Which is now what happened in Bonteville, where you saw the people of the community took the people to the police to get arrested. So that's the resource that they have as EMS. They don't lose it.
Yes.
What I'll advise, it's long now. What I'll advise from EMS side when it comes to policy change, even nationally, is that we utilize the people that want to serve on how they can help us. And also the guys on the ground who understand the realities of the people on the ground. They're the ones also inform policy. Because now policy, if it's only informed by the people who sit on the table who doesn't go to these areas, it's not really going to speak to what is needed. Yes.
Yeah. In the same sort of line, but changing topics a bit.
Okay.
In terms of inequity and service provision, you're also very much involved in the critical care transfers for pediatric patients. And so tell us about the other research that you did in that space with regards to the P-TRIES framework.
Yes.
Because that is also inequity based with the very sick children being stabilized or sometimes sadly not stabilized at district or community healthcare centers that leads to poor outcomes. And then the transfers between those are delayed and also need a specific set of skills that are not always available. So tell us about that work.
That's what I'm employed for in EMS.
This is just extra.
Yes. So as you've mentioned, that I'm involved in the critical care team, which was formerly known as Sprint, which is on the focus on neonates and pediatric population. So while I've been there now for my 5 years. I only worked one in operations. So the rest of my 5 years in EMS, I have 6 years now.
Yeah.
It's been with them, Sprint. So what we do there is, as I've mentioned, that you will take children from primary facility and then we'll take them to tertiary where they need it, or sometimes they need to go for surgery, all those kind of things. And as we know that there's been high mortality as well when it comes to children. And we wanted, even WHO wanted that to try to reduce the mortality when it comes to children under the age of 5 years. And then my master's is looking at how clinical leadership advocates for pediatric patient safety. So clinical leadership being you as a practitioner, what do you do to make sure this child enters the system and leaves the system still safe? So when I created the Petrus framework, is we found out, like things been well known, but it's through literature, is that children, like most of the EMS personnel, even outside EMS, is they get like the wrong dosages when it comes, because it's weight based. Some under-resourced institutions or like part of our country, which is a low-resource country or middle to low-resource countries, is that they don't even have the scales. So now you have to use the tapes or the curriculum, the weight formula, which is sometimes not really really specific to the child's weight. And then find out that there is errors, and then within our unit is trying to make sure that we reduce those errors. So with the framework is on how we use simulation to make sure like we practice all the time that by the time you get a real sick child, you know the care that you cater is actually the right one for that child.
Yeah.
So we use, so what I propose there is, I didn't propose for only Western Cape, though, just for everyone, is that you do some like a build-up approach, whereby like if you see there is a problem with the kind of CPR they do, like that they were still doing the 15:2 and in neonate. All right, how to just build that skill, and then you add others just to make
as
sure as you go.
So start with the basics.
Yes, and then build up into making sure that their holistic care is the right one, other than just throwing the doll on someone and say threat.
Yes.
Then give them this scenario that is it's difficult to understand. Now they touch base, which is what happens when you're with your child and you're not working with children. You don't know where to start.
Exactly.
So the framework was based on that, but it's more speaking about the reflection and simulation. So when it comes to reflection, is that to allow the level of vulnerability, that to say that's
out of my depth.
Yes,
something wrong.
With that child is that I didn't do well, and I don't think even my care was up to the level best. And then I speak to someone at the base who does the same. It was all 3 children. So, and then we get advice from each other, but we reflect so that we can improve. Because sometimes you move from one case to another. All right, you don't reflect to check like, what have I done? Because this in most of our under resourced, like there's a call waiting all the time.
You need to go.
So same thing in hospital, like the medical officers that I take patients from, and when we come, we take over. They don't have time to sit back and reflect. They leave us to go see another patient. All right. So now they don't actually can sit down and think, did I actually provide the right care? Was it caregiver quality care? How can I do to improve for the next patient when I see? So the system itself doesn't actually allow that. So this is trying to, from peer to peer, people who are actually working on the ground to hold this each other, not accountable, but help us say, actually sit down, take it, let it sink in.
Stop it for a second.
Yes,
think for a bit,
and reflect and see how you've done on this. Part of the masters, like I'm almost done, which is part of advocacy. Because I believed ourselves as frontline workers is that one of our job is to advocate for those that seek care from us. We are the voice when it comes to the system. So I see myself as a voice of those who cannot share their voice. Yes. So they cannot share their voice to the people who do policies within the department. But I can be that voice for them because I see all the time what they go through within their communities. How can I make sure that within the system of EMS, we provide a better care for the children? We make sure we will prevent the deaths through education, through simulation, through reflections. And then from that, and then how do you advocate for the children to make sure they are safe outside of EMS system?
Thank you for your efforts. And also from a personal perspective, there have been many times where I've been very happy to see the critical care transfer team show up, because often I've been out of my depth and you guys know exactly what you're doing with little kids. So thank you.
No. It's good. Thank you. Welcome.
And then in a previous interview, I interviewed Yasin and Louis from EXA, which is the Emergency Care Society of South Africa. And you are also involved with them. Tell us about your role with EXA.
And I'm part of that space as well, but now I'm a director of stakeholder relations. So my work there is that I have people called provincial liaisons.
Okay.
All right. So what they do is that I have 2 per province, and then 1 is for private and 1 from public healthcare. And then we trying to find a way to bridge the gap between public and private, where we can work together within those spaces. But major of their job is part of learning as well.
Yeah.
What do you see is changing within your space?
Yeah.
And what enables that change if the change is positive?
Yeah.
And then if there's no change happening, what constraints do you feel like?
Why not?
Why the change is not happening?
Yeah.
So within those, I'd say it's 18 people because it's two per province. Within those people, we meet and discuss, and then I jot down those things with the hope that I'll gather that information, and then I will share that information to relevant people, academics, our national director of EMS. I've already shared some of the information with the director of EMS in the Western Cape on what we feel like it's changing and what we feel like it's not changing. And the work is not action orientated; it's learning orientated. But human nature, you want to provide solutions sometimes. So there were some recommendations that we also made that we hope that will also change the systems within EMS spaces.
Yeah. So again, it's about connecting voices that know about their context, their own local communities, and bringing them together, giving it to you. You can convey the message on the relevant platforms.
Yes. Yeah. And I tried that to make sure my voice is heard.
So last question, which you've sort of answered a bit already, but if you had a magic wand and you could wave it and then overnight something would happen in South African healthcare, what would that be?
Yeah, it's a tough one, eh? It's a tough one because I feel like in healthcare we have, as a connector of many things, we take a lot of burden. So I would say that we provide the right care for the right patient at the right time, and is that it's always equitable, I would say, but is for people within the healthcare, like I'll say the leaders in the healthcare, to actually listen to the people on the ground, to hear their suggestions, and also people on the ground to listen to the community as well, what the community needs from them. So I feel like there's no connection between how we do things. So if in the near future you can see all the needs that the people want from us, they've been catered for, and it's tough then. It's tough to answer because I understand the perspective, the situation healthcare finds itself in. I know now people also saying that we're also burdened by illegal foreigners, which I don't feel like it's true or not. But I feel like there's a lot of things not working right in the country, things that I'm seeing around the system, like how healthcare have inherited a lot of problems
from social
just the infrastructure. When you move Young Smart Road, there's no traffic lights down the whole until Butcher Square to Khayelitsha to Somerset West. And then you find people walking down the road. And it's dark, you can't see them, you hit them. Who have to respond? Healthcare. All right. But it was not healthcare problem initially. Just need someone to fix the lights. And same thing in the locations. It's where people are concentrated. We have no resources. They end up relying on drugs. End up relying on alcohol to take their sorrow, cause gender-based violence, and then healthcare needs to respond to that. So, we inherit a lot of systemic issues
Yeah.
that I don't think it's only for us to solve. Healthcare, we can try to do our best, but if
Yeah.
these other stakeholders within, they're not doing their part, then we'll always struggle. We'll always say we don't have enough money for things. We'll say we're overburdened. So my advice to see on when it comes to healthcare, or what I want to see when it comes to healthcare, is that every time when a patient walks into a door or into my ambulance, they are served by a person who wants to be here or wants to serve them, show a smile in their face, and actually listen to what they want, they need at that spot, at that time. Get them to the healthcare system, and they go out happy and hopefully not accessing it back because we've managed to solve their problem.
And I think like you said, a collaborating approach with leadership within the communities is probably the best way to do that at this point. And listening to what the people need. Well, thank you for the interview, and I really enjoyed that discussion, and thanks for all the good work that you're doing in the space.
Thank you, Dan. But I just want to thank you for putting yourself into the work you're doing, making us share the stories that we do within the healthcare space, and thank you for today.
Pleasure, Cheers. It's been a pleasure.
That's all for this month, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. Just to recap, we spoke about the Red Zone policy and the Green Corridors project, which will hopefully go a long way into addressing spatial injustice and health inequity that has been present in the past due to this Red Zone policy, however well-intentioned it has been, while recognizing that the safety of our emergency care staff remains a very important and ongoing problem that our healthcare workers are facing on a daily basis. We also spoke about equity when it comes to pediatric transfers between facilities, and how education, simulation and reflection especially can go a long way into improving outcomes. We then touched on Ati's role at EXA and how bringing contextual voices together from across the country can lead to policy change at a higher level. That's all. We really hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did. Be sure to rate, review and subscribe on all of your favorite platforms, and share the podcast with a friend or colleague who might be interested. If you'd like to get in touch, find me on LinkedIn or email me at dan@badem.co.za, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Brave African Discussions, or X or Blue Sky at badem. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye bye.